Welcome to Finance Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into the Greenland Gambit. And believe me, this is a wild story. We're talking high-stakes geoeconomics, raw power plays, and an alliance that's cracking at the seams, potentially reshaping the entire world order. Now, what's so crazy about this is that we're not talking about a dispute with some traditional rival. Nope. This is a full-blown trade war breaking out between the United States and, get this, some of its oldest and closest allies. And the reason for all this chaos? It comes down to this absolutely shocking, unprecedented demand. These are President Trump's own words, linking these crippling economic sanctions directly to the complete and total purchase of Greenland. Yeah, you heard that right. I mean, a move like this has just sent shockwaves through the very foundations of the Western alliance. So you have to ask, how in the world did we get here? All right, let's start with the ultimatum itself, because this thing was delivered with stunning speed, and they were deadly serious. Just look at this timeline. It was absolutely brutal. It's announced on social media on January 17th. And by February 1st, boom, a 10% tariff is already hitting European goods. And there's a clear threat. If a deal isn't reached, that tariff is going to more than double to 25% by June. And just look who's in the crosshairs here. We're talking Denmark, Norway, Germany, the UK. These aren't just random countries. This is the very core of NATO, some of America's most historic partners. So why? Why this intense, almost obsessive focus on Greenland? Well, the answer, and the real prize here, is what's buried deep under all that ice. You see, this whole move is part of a much bigger U.S. strategy, something called Pax Silica. Think of it as a grand plan to build a whole new economic order, one based on secure, trusted technology supply chains. And the ultimate goal? To absolutely dominate the age of AI. And what's the key to dominating AI? It's these things, rare earth elements. And listen, these aren't just some obscure minerals you vaguely remember from chemistry class. They are the essential, irreplaceable building blocks of our entire modern world. I mean, this really shows you how critical they are. We're talking about everything from the processors that power AI and semiconductors to advanced defense systems like the F-35 fighter jet and even the magnets in your electric car or in those giant wind turbines. All of it, every single thing, depends on a steady supply of these rare earths. And guess what? Greenland is sitting on a massive, almost untouched supply. We're talking about 1.5 million tons of proven rare earth reserves. That puts it right up there with the most significant undeveloped deposits on the entire planet. And the U.S. is taking this mineral race incredibly seriously. Just look at the money. The Pentagon has already thrown over $4.5 billion in just 5 months to lock down critical mineral deals. They've explicitly said their goal is to turn the military into an AI-first warfighting force. Okay, so with that kind of immense pressure, how did Europe respond? Did they fold? Not a chance. They came back with a surprisingly united and defiant front. The message from Greenland itself was immediate and just crystal clear. One of their politicians put it perfectly. Greenland has never been for sale and never will be for sale, period. And that political defiance, it spilled right out onto the streets. You had protesters rallying under this simple, powerful slogan, "Hands off Greenland." It showed just how widespread the popular opposition really was. And Europe wasn't just talking. They were getting ready to fight fire with fire. The EU started putting together a massive retaliatory tariff package of its own, valued at around $102 billion. And their target list was smart. It was designed to inflict maximum political pain back in the U.S., hitting high-value stuff like cars and aircraft, but also politically sensitive items like American bourbon. Now, a fight of this size between major allies, that doesn't just happen in a bubble. This confrontation sent immediate shockwaves, tearing across the global economy and the whole geopolitical landscape. So when you boil it all down, this standoff is really about two completely different sets of priorities. For the U.S., it's all about securing those critical minerals for AI supremacy, no matter the cost. But for Europe, the fear is that this whole approach is just going to shatter international law and the entire Western alliance. And that's not just hyperbole. The warning from Bronwyn Maddox over at Chatham House was incredibly stark. She said, "This does mark the end of the Western alliance." Unsurprisingly, the financial markets absolutely panicked. I mean, this level of uncertainty among the world's most stable allies, it sent stocks into a nosedive and had investors scrambling for safe haven assets. Gold, for example, soared to record highs. So, with all this infighting, who's sitting back and enjoying the show? Well, America's chief rivals, of course. Reports said the Kremlin was gleeful watching the division, while China, stands to gain hugely from a fractured and distracted West. This entire crisis really forces us to ask a fundamental question. In this new era of competition between great powers, what really rules the world now? Is it the old rules of geopolitics and alliances, or is it the raw, coercive power of geoeconomics? What's the new world order? If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe to Finance Deep Dive. It motivates us to keep posting.